Guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you guys how to make this peplum top with flare on the side. So first thing, you're going to just cut the basic peplum top. So I have my fabric folded into two, and then this is the back panel also folded into two here. So you see, so the length I have here is my half length. So my half length is 17, so what I have here is 18, right? From the shoulder to my waist is 17, so I did 18 because I need half an inch at the bottom, half an inch at the top. And then the width of the fabric, this is the front panel. The one with extra 1 inch is the back panel, you see. So the fold here is just my bust divided by 4 plus 1. I'm using a basic dart. So first thing is to go up to the shoulder and then mark my shoulder divided by 2. So you could make your sleeveless, you could make yours with sleeve. Mark my armhole, which is somewhere here. Come down 1 inch of shoulder slope, and then I'm going to come in here and mark 3 inch of neckline. And then after that, I'm going to connect the 1 inch of shoulder slope to this point. After that is done, the next thing is going to be to connect my line. So I'm going to connect from this point here to this point, and then I'm going to give it a curve here. And then on this line, I'm going to mark my waist divide. So you notice that all my measurements are starting here. So my bust divided by 4, go ahead and mark that, and then add my seam allowance. Come down to the waist. So the waist divided by 4, mark it. And then down here, I'm going to do extra 2 inches. So for the bust, you could do extra 1 inch of seam allowance or 1.5 of seam allowance. And then at the waist, I'm going to do extra 1 inch of darting and 1.5 of seam allowance. And then I'm going to connect it from the bust to the waist all the way down. So now all I have to do is to come down here. It depends on you the kind of neckline you want. So I'm just going to do a basic high neck, connect it 1 inch of neck depth, and then I'm going to mark 1 inch for the back neckline. So 3 inch in front, and then 1 inch at the back. So all I have to do is to go ahead and cut. So guys, you see I've cut out the shoulder, the armhole, the extra 3 inch in front, 1 inch at the back, split open the back. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to mark from the center line here, from the end here of the front panel to where my dart is going to be. So your dart is going to be your nipple to nipple divided by 2 plus half an inch. So for me, that is going to be 4 plus half an inch is 5. I'm sorry, 4.5. So go ahead and mark it here. So my dart is going to be somewhere here. So I'm going to mark from my shoulder to the nipple line, which is at 12, but my dart is going to stop at 13, 1 inch before the nipple line. So this is my dart. I'm going to put it on the 2 sides. That's half an inch dart on both sides. So I'm going to pinch something like this and just dart it all the way up here. And then for the back, I'm going to notch also the same place where this dart falls in front is where it's going to be at the back, but except at the back is going to go up to my armhole line, which is somewhere here. But then before that, let me separate it. There are different things I'm going to do for each one. So for the back, I'm going to go up by 1 inch at this point here, just to reduce it, and then I'm going to blend it into the side like this. This is just going to help my zip not to bulk up. So once you do that, you cut it out. Now I can go ahead and notch it and know that this is where my dart is going to be for the 2 sides of the back. And then for the front, the only change I'm going to make here is into the armhole. Just chip out about half an inch so my fabric is not bulking up, and that is it. So after this, the next thing is to go in and cut our sleeve if you're using sleeve, and then to also cut our to cut our peplum. So guys, I'm going to be using a very short sleeve, almost like a cap sleeve. So the width here is my armhole divided by 2 plus like 1.5, and then I'm going to, the total length I'm using for my sleeve including the seam allowance is about 6.5. So I'm going to go ahead and come down here and mark about 4 inches. From here to here is 4 inches. Connect from the end here to this point, find halfway through, give it a curve above and then a curve below. So the width here, I just come down here, and you could do your sleeve your sleeve width plus, let's say, 1.5, and then I'm going to just connect it into this point here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, cut all the way up. So guys, if you're working with lining, go ahead and cut the lining you're using for your fabric exactly like I like the pattern here. So all I'm going to do now is to take, these are my 2 back panels, you could see. So I'm going to first notch it, put my dart all the way at the back here, and then I'm going to open up the front panel, and then I'm going to join it shoulder to shoulder, facing each other. Right, once that is done, I'm going to take my sleeve. There's 2 of them here, 1 for each side. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my sleeve, 1 on each side of the cloth, 1 on this side, 1 on this side. And once that is done, I'm going to close up the side seam, and then I could use bias to run my neckline, and then I'm going to come back and finish up with the bottom, how we're going to add the peplum. So guys, the peplum, which is the main point of the video, the peplum length I'm using is about plus my seam allowance, everything is 11.5, right? So by the time I'm done, I should be left with, let's say 10. That's going to be the length of my peplum. So you're going to make yours however you want. So that is going to leave me with top length of 27, because remember my top is 17, my peplum is 10, so it's a little long, right? So now the next thing is the peplum. How you're going to work, make it is that you see that one is folded, and then the second piece here has seam allowance. So if I open it like this, you'll find that this one has about 1 inch of zip allowance, which is the back panel, and then one is on a fold, which is the front panel. Let me notch it so you know this is the center front, right? So the next thing here is that you notice that I've also made a notch here on the 4 layers. That's the 2 pieces of the back, and then the one for the front that is folded. How I was able to determine where this notch is that I took my front panel, making sure that the width here is my waist measurement, half of my waist measurement in front, right? And then I folded it into 2, and then I placed it on this here, just so that I know what will be enough to go, because remember there's no girder here, so you need to make sure that on the when the fabric is straight, it's going to just be like this. Here is supposed to be your waist measurement divided by 4. So whatever that is, if it's 8, if it's 7, that is where you're going to notch it. And make sure that on a fold too, what you have is your waist measurement divided by 4, like for the front panel, right? So now what we're going to do is that I've made my notch. You will notice it's here. So I'm going to open it up, 1 front panel, and then the 2 back panel. I'm going to open it up like this, and then I'm going to take it and stitch it together. So where my notch is here, because where my notch is here, will be stitched together. So I'm going to turn it over like this. So it depends on you. You could use 1 inch to sew it. So what I'm going to do is on this point of my notch here, you see, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. So from this point, I'm going to come down. So guys, you will notice my notch here, 1 in front and then the back. You see my center notch here. So there are 3 notches here, the center and then the sides, right? Which is exactly what my waistline is supposed to be. So this is the center, this is the 2 sides here. So on this side here, you would also notice this is the back panel. So I'm going to go, how I'm going to make my stitch is now 1 inch of stitch here on this notch, and then I'm going to continue that 1 inch all the way down like this. So I'm going to make a stitch that will look something like this, down 1 inch and then go up this way. So I'm going to do the same thing on this other side too. Come down from this point here, 1 inch, and then go all the way down like this. So you could stop wherever you want, or you could seam it all the way to the end. I've seen this peplum, some of them has a slit, right, where it drops on the end, because all this part here is what will drop. So how you're going to calculate it is you're going to measure from your waist to the length you want to fall over like this. So you could do above your knee, just mid hip, or wherever length you want it to be. So whatever you want, decide on. Mine is about, let me measure mine and tell you. So from where the notch is for me, which is here, till the end of my fabric is about 18, right? So it depends on you what length you want. So the same length is what I have on both ends. So now I'm going to go ahead and make my stitch, stop maybe about 5 inches and then I'm going to stop. So it depends on you. Like I said, if you'd want to continue the stitch, then you could continue the stitch. So guys, like I was telling you before, this style, I've seen it in different forms. So let me remove this so you could see what I'm saying. So remember my peplum, this is what I'm working with here, this rectangle here. So this part here is the one with the closed side. So you see our seam that I was telling you. So you come down here and then you continue the seam all the way to the end. Once you get to this point, you hem the end. I'm supposed to still hem this bottom part, but just you're going to hem the 4 corners of your clothes all the way. This is still the front. You see the front is one piece going towards this side. But then if you want to do the one that is open, what you're going to do is, once you do the same seam again, come down 1 inch, cross over, then that 1 inch of seam allowance, you're going to use it to maybe come down at least 5 inches or so, and then you're going to split it open, move one seam to this side, move one seam to this other side, and use it just to hem it like a slit, and then do the same thing on this side. Come back up, do the same thing on this side. So you see, everything is done. So all this opening now is just for my waist and my zipper allowance. So once I want to sew it, what I'm going to do is, you see, it's already coming together. All these are going to drop towards the side. This is the center of my clothes. So all I have to do is just to take my peplum now, my top. I already know where the notch is. Put it at the center of my top here. And then this side of the seam is going to go to this side towards the back. This other side here is going to go run towards this side. And then my peplum is going to drop on this side and drop on this side. Once it's done, go ahead and put your zip at the center back, and that is it. So I'm going to finish up mine, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. So guys, this is what it looks like. So you see, basically this is just the straight fabric attached on the bottom. You see, it goes down straight like this in rectangular form, but this side I wanted to show you guys is joined together. This side, if you want to make it separate, so I will decide on what I prefer and then make it look like the other one. But for the purpose of the video, I just opened up one side and left one side closed, just so you guys could see that you could do the 2 methods. And then for the back, it's still the same thing. It's straight at the back, and then the zip goes all the way down. So that's basically it. You could make your sleeve longer, you could do whatever you prefer, and that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.